said the boys have surprised me before, right? How's it going? Oh no, you're good. You're good. When you stand up, yes.
I know everyone can hear me. I just don't know if everyone can see me.
right, good afternoon. Welcome to round robin game number 3. D1 Gales taking on the Junior Kings, 18 UAA. Gorman coming off a 4-2 win over the Sherwood Park Oilers last night. And are 2-0 so far through round robin play. Gorman leading all the teams in the standings in first place. In second place, Sherwood Park Oilers. We played just before this one in a 6-1 win over the Valley Thunder with multiple ejections on the Oilers side for fighting. And they may miss semifinal matchups tomorrow as a result. Gorman, the away team for this game in orange, Kings in white. About another minute before opening ceremony. Skoska expected in net for Gorman to pick this one off. Opening lineup, number 22, Cash Creel. Number 6, Jeffrey Baldy. Number 10, John Fish. Number 14, Onze Godino. Number 23, Aiden Posner. And number 88 in net, Cam Laskoska. All right, getting ready to kick off first period. Gorman 2-0 so far this series. Kings 0-2 so far through round robin play. Fish in for the faceoff for Gorman. 15 minutes on the board. And Kings come away with that one. Chip it in, forced aside by Posner. Gorman clears it, Fish chips it up, and the Kings grab that to center ice and wire it around the boards. Scott comes out to field that one. Baldy takes a hit in the corner. Fish comes in to support. Kings have it back behind the Gorman goal line. Walk it up, shot. Couldn't get enough on that one. It goes right of the net. Puck cleared, and no icing. Kerr posted out front. Rubino sends that one back down low. Trent and Rubino at the blue line. They're going to send that one in as Gorman squeezes in the remainder of the change. Rubino walks it up. Lobs it in, stopped at the hash marks by the Kings. Huge hit by Rubino. Cash Johnson comes in along the far boards. Kerr drops back. Cash Johnson takes a hit, still in play. That out to the far side, stuffed by Rubino. Pass out to the near boards. Trent forces that one down low, and Kerr couldn't maintain possession. Kings try to bring that behind the Gorman net and pinned. Shot saved by Laskoska as a Kings player was open by himself in the slot. Fitzy near boards, chips it up, takes a hit, and Gorman will go for a change. Davis and Westwood in as well as Mesa for Gorman. Kings couldn't get the pass off, sent around the other side. Mesa comes in, forces the pass out wide. Davis picks that one up, chips it back down low. Kept in play by Mesa, walks it up, shot off the pads. Kept in by Luong. Luong chips it out to Davis. Westwood has it in the corner, he's got Mesa. Posted out front, couldn't make the connecting pass. Loose out front, Kings pick that one up. Bring it out the other way. Kings will send it down low and go for a partial change. Puck reverse, ref in the way. Kings pick that one up. Shot off a Kings player. Scooped up by Luong along the near boards. Chips it out. And the Kings reload in the neutral zone. And send it in. Pass almost picked off by Larison. Davis comes in, gives a huge hit along the boards outside the Gorman bench. And Luong reverses it the other way. Bad bounce, loose out front, shot off the blocker. Davis shot that one off and almost clears. Mesa goes to regroup. Davis comes in to support, breaks out the Gorman zone. Davis and Westwood 2-on-3. Davis brings it through, shot, center mass, and swallowed up by the goaltender with 11:31 remaining in the first period. Shots on goal 3-2 in favor of the Kings. Klaus, Bonifazio, Tritton, Posner, and Baldy. Kings win the faceoff and send it down in the Gorman zone. Posner back behind the net, gets tied up. Gets a hip check in. Sends it across. Kings intercept that one. Bring it back the other way. Feed it down low. Sent out the far side. Bonifazio couldn't get there. Neither could the Kings player. Tritton poke checks it in. Stays on the forecheck. And pass sent around the boards. No icing as Gorman regroups. Baldy to Tritton. Loose in the middle. Poke checked out. Bonifazio walks it in. Shot. Takes a hit and it goes wide. Godino along the near side. Forces a pass. No one there. Trent's going to pick that up. Sends it across. Kings intercept but stumble. Fish scoops it up at the blue line. Walks it in. Off the pads. Loose out front. And the Kings almost clear. Godino keeps it. Comes back out to Trent at the blue line. Walks it up. Shot. Loose. And picked up and covered by the goaltender with 10:09 remaining in the first period. Face-off coming up in the King zone. The puck drop, and they're going to wave off the Kings. Loose at the feet. Kings come away with it. Send it around the boards. Trent there for Gorman. Keeps it pinned in. Feeds it back down low to Godino. Couldn't grab that one. And Creel comes in to support. Godino brings it around the near corner. Feeds it back out to Rubino. Rubino back out to Godino. Passes to Rubino. Couldn't get the shot off. Walks it up. Face-off dot. Gets pushed back. Dangles through. Drops it back. Fish trying to feed Trent off a stick. And Gorman will have to regroup back in the D zone. Trent pass out to Creel. No one there. That will be an icing. 9:23 remaining in the first period. Face-off coming up in the Gorman zone. Shots on goal 4-3 in favor of the Gales. Kerr, Johnson, Fitzy, Luong, and Larison. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Larison brings it back behind the goal line. Johnson sends it up. Doesn't hit any structure. And the Kings field that one. Cash Johnson dangles it up. Couldn't break it through. Fitzy does and sends it in. Goes on the forecheck. Kings send it around the board. Kept in play by Luong. Luong walks it up. Backhand shot. Short side, just right of the net. Huge hit by Kerr. Kings couldn't clear. Luong puts it on net. 8:45 remaining in the first, and another face-off coming up outside the Kings' net. Gorman wins the faceoff. Cash Johnson backhands it. Loose. And goalie able to cover that one. Close call. Bounced up above the goaltender. Rolled off. And he's able to cover for a stoppage play. Another face-off. Kerr for the puck drop. Kings are going to come away with that one. Centered around the boards along the near side. And clears. No icing as Larson back checks to scoop that one up. Chips it up. Johnson back to Larry. Dangles it through. Sends it down low. He had a man on him. Kings have it in the near corner. Pass out through. Davis picks that one up. And Gorman will regroup back on their zone. Misconnection there. Blocked by Posner. Puck comes out to Davis. Davis digging in the corner. Kings keep it in. Posner, Westwood, and Davis pinned down low. Kings shot left of the net. Comes out to Mesa. Mesa chips it off the boards, bouncing through the neutral zone out to Westwood. Westwood feeds it out to Davis. Davis on the forecheck. And Kings bring it back the other way. Pass through at the blue line. Fielded by Rubino. Pass through and out. Neutral zone. Westwood. Shot. Gets sent left of the net. Mesa comes in, battling for position. Klaus in at center. Mesa leaves that back for Westwood. Westwood feeds it out of the point. He's got a man on him. And that's all the way out into the Gorman penalty box. 6:46 remaining. Bonifazio, Rubino, and Trent comes out to Trent. Feeds it back down low. Shot. Chipped up. And into the netting. Bonifazio takes a hit while sending it through. Shots on goal, 7-3 in favor of the Gales. Klaus in for the puck drop. Ref making sure everybody's in position. Goes out into the Kings corner. They send it around, picked off by Gorman. Klaus trying to feed Rubino in the slot. And the Kings break that one up. In the near corner, puck breaks through. Trent gets there for Gorman. Trent's got room to work with. Makes it in, dangles through. Shot. Saved by the Kings goaltender. And they're going to bring it back the other way. Klaus drops back. Closes that one off as the forward dodged the hip check. Larson couldn't control that one through the neutral zone, and it comes on back. Tritton sends it through. Kings pick it up at center ice. Send it across. Klaus gives a hit. Kings maintain possession in the near corner. Trent goes in with a hit. Through the crease. Sent out. Bonifazio there for Gorman. Chips off the glass. Clears. Another hit by Tritton this time, and Gorman's going to lob it through the neutral zone. Godino comes in, puts on pressure, almost comes away with that one. And Fish and Creel here to support. Kings push back in their zone. Fish comes away with it. Shot off the crossbar on a breakaway opportunity. Godino causing havoc at the goal line, the blue line. Gorman picks that one up and sends it in. Creel dodges a hit. Kings try sending it out along the far side. And Larson's going to get there for Gorman. Chips it back down lower. Leaves it for Luong. Sends it out to Creel. Creel's got a man on him. Couldn't clear. and eventually does. Kings regroup in the neutral zone and send it in Gorman's territory. Long back behind the net, sends it back to Fish. Fish trying to send it to Godino. Godino takes a hit at the near boards and cleared. Kings send it back behind Gorman net, near corner. Fish chips it. He's got Creel in motion. It's on net and almost gets there in time. Goaltender comes out to field that one. Kerr comes on for Gorman. Shot off a body, glove down by Godino. Godino chips off the glass, bouncing puck, and that'll have a little too much mustard on it. .358 remaining. Kerr, Johnson, Fitzy, Baldy, and Posner. Kerr in for the faceoff. Kings win that one. Battling for position in the corner. Kings come away with it. Shot off a body, goes wide and clears. Johnson on the forecheck as well as Fitzy. Off the skate. Kings able to maintain possession. Poke checked off. Cash Johnson couldn't hold on to that one. And the Kings bring it through. Drop it back. Fitzy says no. And it chipped up to Kerr. He's got a man on him. Makes his own. Poke checked off a stick. Baldy working in the neutral zone. Cass Johnson able to get possession and send it in. Gorman going to go for a partial change. And they dump it down. Trent brings it back the other way. No one there. That will be an icing. 3:07 remaining. Mesa, Davis, Westwood, Rubino, and Trent. Davis into the faceoff. Kings win on shot. Sent down low. And covered by Laskoska. Davis in for the faceoff. Kings waiting for their fifth player. Makes the blue line. Loose at the feet. Westwood picks that one up. Kings able to bring it in. Rubino drops it to Mesa. Trying to hit Westwood. Trent wires it in. Westwood gets there for Gorman. He takes a hit. Bouncing puck. Slipped over. Tipped by the Kings. And they're going to say no icing on this one. Trent feeds it out to Mesa. Through the neutral zone. He's tied up. Westwood brings that one in. Gets toppled down. Comes away with it. Takes a hit again. And the Kings bring it back the other way. Rubino gets tripped up. And that'll be a penalty on the Kings for tripping. As Rubino was dropped in the neutral zone. 2:08. As number 16 for the Kings will head to the box. And Gorman go on the power play. Godino, Creel, Johnson, Trent, and Klaus. Klaus with the power play goal in last night's game. Trent, Godino, near wall back to Trent at the blue line. Godino in motion, shot. Deflected up and into the netting. Godino in for the faceoff. Wins it back to Trent. In the slot, shot, loose. Cleared by the Kings, still in the zone, playing high school rules, so they can wire down the other side. Udino back to Cash Johnson's got a man on him. Creel comes in. Out along the far side, kept in play by Klaus. Cash Johnson walks it up the goal line to Godino, feeds it through the legs of the Kings player, couldn't get the shot off, and Trent has it back at the blue line. Walks it around. Trying to send it to Godino. Trent feeds Klaus. 1 minute left in the period and then 50 seconds left. Klaus walks it up. Shot. Comes out loose. Godino dives, keep it in play. Drops it back to Trent. Shot. Loose. And covered. As the next power play unit comes on the ice. About 34 seconds left on the power play for Gorman. 41 seconds left in the period. Kerr, Davis, Westwood, Larison, and Fitzy. Fitzy in for the puck drop. Comes out to Larison. He's got a man on him. Tries to feed Kerr. Too many players together. Puck comes out loose. Davis comes in to support Fitzy. Still in play. Kerr feeds it around the boards. Kings going to get there first. Davis pins him. Kerr comes in to support. Davis comes away with it. Cycles it back to Kerr. Feeds it up to the wall. Westwood sends it back to Larison. 5 seconds left. Westwood, far wall. Back to Larison, high in the slot. Shot, tipped by Kerr. And we are back to 5-on-5. Player back behind as Kerr drops back. And that'll wrap up the period. Heading into the second. Tied 0-0, shots on goal 13-5 in favor of Gorman. Only one penalty so far, tripping against the Kings. And we will start the second period. Full strength for both teams. Getting ready to kick off the second period. Bonifazio, Tritton, Klaus, Posner, and Baldy. Klaus wins that back to Baldy, chips it up, out of reach of Bonifazio. Bonifazio battling, sends it back down low. It's on net. Kings pick it up in transit. Send it around the boards. Chipped out. Almost had a 2-on-1 opportunity against the Gorman defenseman. Kings send it around the boards, pinned in their zone. Able to clear. Baldy to Posner. Posner wires it in. Takes a hit. Kept in. And Kings get an opportunity the other way. Pass that broken up. Kings have it on the far side. Shot and covered by Laskoska. 14-16 remaining. Gorman will send out the next unit for a D-zone faceoff. Creel, Fish, Godino. Rubino and Trent. Comes out to Trent, sends it out to Godino on the far side. Trying to hit Creel in motion. Creel and Fish working at the blue line. Rubino pinches up. And the Kings will bring that back in their zone. Pass broken up by Trent. He's going to send it into the near corner. Creel there for Gorman. Fish comes into support. Couldn't grab that one, and Rubino chips it up. Gorman feeds it back down low. Both teams playing very physical. Godino feeds it through the crease. Creel shot broken up. Kept in play by the skate of Godino. And Gorman picks that one up in the neutral zone and wires it back the other way. Trying to squeeze in a change. Trent and Luong. Westwood almost comes away with a monster hit at the blue line. Mesa on the back check. Luong comes into support. Kings grab that at the point. Shot tipped and saved, covered by Laskoska. 12:54 remaining in the second. Shots on goal 14-7 in favor of Gorman. Mesa, Davis, Westwood, Luong, and Larison. Davis in for the faceoff. Wins it back to Larison. Mesa chips it off the boards. And Kings return to sender. Larison brings it through to Luong. Luong feeds Davis near side, chips it in. Larison comes in to support. Davis and Luong working at the blue line. Luong has to regroup here. Back with Westwood, chips it out to Larison. Center ice chips in around the boards. Mesa working back behind the goal line. Pass broken up by Larison, still sitting there at the far wall. Still in play. Larison feeds it back out to Mesa. He's got Davis out front, as well as Westwood. Mesa with some space, drops it to Luong, didn't have room to shoot. Davis gives a hit, picked up by Mesa, left for Westwood. Westwood dangles through, same team. Westwood shot, no out front. And Kings goaltender able to cover. Luong getting in on the forecheck. Fresh unit out for Gorman. Kerr, Fitzy, Johnson, Baldy, and Posner. Fitzy comes away with it. Taking off his stick. Posner chips that one back up. Johnson on the back check. Kerr comes in to support. Feeds it back at the blue line. Behind pass to Johnson. Kings playing a very tight defense. Fed back out to Baldy. Drops back out to Fitzy. Wasn't expecting that one. And Gorman forced back out into the neutral zone. Sends it in on net. Loose out front. Kirk comes in. Picks that one up. Cycles it back. Fitzy couldn't get there in time. Man, the Kings recover at their wall. Chip it around. A little too much. And that'll be an icing. It's going to come on back. Gorman brings on fresh legs for a face-off in the Kings D zone. Klaus, Bonifazio, Tritton, Trent, and Rubino. Goes out into the corner. Kings going to get there for Gorman. Send it around the boards. cleared. Tritton on the back check. He's got Trent with him. Tritton feeds it back across. Gorman has to tag up. Klaus poke checks that one off. He's got Tritton with him in tow. Sends it across. Bonifacio just out of reach. And Gorman sends it back down low. Klaus comes in to break it up. Out in the far corner to the near corner. Shovel through Trent there for Gorman. And the Kings able to get an opportunity the other way. 2-on-1. Fed through. And the goal for the Kings. Kings take the lead with 10 minutes remaining in the second. Shots on goal, 16-8 in favor of Gorman. Fish, Godino, Creel, Luong, and Larison. Fish in for the faceoff. Comes out in favor of Gorman. Larison brings it in, sends it around the boards. Godino on the forecheck. Takes a hit at the Zamboni door. Loops out front. Creel takes a huge hit. Godino at the goal line. Cycles back with Luong. Godino feeds it out to Larison. Shot loose out front. And Godino keeps that one in play. Kings send it out. Gorman reloads as Luong walks it in. Sent over to Godino, couldn't connect, and the Kings have an opportunity the other way. They'll have to just shovel it in and go for a change. Fish along the near wall. Feeds it through, no one there for Gorman. And the Kings come back the other way. Larison on the press, walks it through. Creel there for Gorman. Out to Posner. Posner gives a hit at the blue line. And sent back in Gorman D-zone. Fish on the back check. Posner tripped up. That will be a tripping call as he came in and undercut at the legs. Number 22 ahead to the box, and Gorman will go on the power play. Fitzy, Davis, Kerr, Westwood, and Trent. Kerr in for the faceoff. Fitzy high in the slot. Gorman wins it back to Trent. Out to Fitzy. Shot loose. Comes out to Kerr. Couldn't see that one. Davis posted out front. Sent down low to Kerr. Shot off the goalie. Still in play. Trent. Westwood to Fitzy, and he keeps it in. High in the slot, Trent. Back to Fitzy. Kept in play by Fitzy, feeds it back to Trent at the blue line. Got Westwood in motion. Shot off the crossbar. And Gorman tried to take advantage of the long change here. Poke checked off the stick of Fitzy. And Gorman needs to regroup here. 53 seconds left. Trent's got a guy on him. Sent around the boards out to Creel. Creel sends it out, picked up by the Kings. And Gorman sent back the other way. Johnson in for Davis. Trent trying to send it through. Shot, short side, loose. And the Kings pick it up and bring it back the other way. 24 seconds left on net. Skoska there for Gorman. as Godino waits for the rest of the change. Klaus, Larison, Johnson, and Luong. Godino walks it up, feeds it through the slot, and Gorman couldn't get there. And back to full strength. Long to Godino, who lobs it in, gets tripped up. Only 2 referees in this tournament here, and that's out of play. Always a huge advocate of 4 referees at this age. Due to the shenanigans behind the play. Mesa, Westwood, Davis, Luong, and Larison. Davison for the faceoff. Kings win that one back at their net. Goaltender sends it aside. Mesa sends it into the corner. Out to Luong, shot. Loose at the goal line, sent around the boards. Gonna come out to Larison. Sends it back down low. Westwood drops it back for Davis. Davis peels off. Kings couldn't clear. They do, and bring it through the neutral zone. Larison dodges a hit. Larry feeds it out. Westwood trying to hit Davis off a skate. Davis sends it down low. Long shift for the forward crew and the D crew. And goaltender covers that one in the crease. 5:31 remaining in the second. Gorman trailing by 1. Shots on goal, 22-9 in favor of Gorman. Forward unit staying out there still. Baldy and Posner. Davison for the faceoff. Bouncing puck comes out to Baldy. Couldn't settle it. And he wires back the other way. Gorman tags up, goes on the forecheck. Davis keeps that one in play, sends it back down into the corner. Gets tied up. Davis drops it back to Westwood. He's got Mesa out front. Mesa shot, bouncing puck back behind the net. Davis sends it out to Westwood. Kings pick that one up. And Baldy wires it in. Gorman will tag up and go for a change. Westwood stays on. Pass through, no one there for the Kings. Cycle back, and the Kings have an opportunity the other way. Kerr in at center, comes out to Fitzy. Fitzy gets tied up, trying to clear. Bad bounce off the glass. Loose behind the net. Kerr, Johnson lost an edge. Glove down by Fitzy, takes a hit. And Gorman pinned back in their zone again. Out to Baldy, back to Posner. Chips it up. Off some sticks, no icing. Kerr in for Gorman. Undercut by Fitzy. Johnson walks it up. Feeds it back to Kerr. Kings pick that one off. Kings walk it in. Feed it down low. Scooped up by Rubino. Rubino brings it out along the far side. He's got Johnson with him. And Rubino will head to the box. And Gorman goes on the PK. And we'll see how they call this one. Cross-check is the call. And Gorman will go on the PK for the first time in the game. Godino, Creel, Larison, and Luong. Kings win the face-off back to the blue line. Sent around the boards. Larison comes in, breaks it up. Kings bring it out along the other side. Long forces a pass back to the blue line, to the near wall. Near corner, bouncing puck. Luong comes in and breaks it up. Kings running out of real estate in the corner, feeds it out along the blue line. Creel trying to chip it. He does to Godino, sends it up, off the rafters for a stoppage of play. 1:26 remaining on the PK for Gorman. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Davis, Fish, Trent, and Baldy. Fish into the face-off, comes out to Davis. Davis wires it down low. Davis working up high. Pass out to the other side. Sent down low. Trent's going to get there for Gorman. Gets it out to Fish. Couldn't field that one cleanly, and the Kings wire it. Shot covered. For a stoppage of play. 2:36 remaining in the second. Gorman trailing by 1. And a minute left. Larson, Luong, Creel. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Larson shrugs him off, chips it up, and clears. Almost hits Godino in motion in the neutral zone. And Kings send it in. Back out to Noah. Chips off the boards. Creel sends it around. Godino. And a penalty coming up on the Kings. As Godino's hit from behind going into the boards, trying to retrieve the puck. Number 18 for the Kings. About 30 seconds of 4-on-4. Davis, Westwood, Trent, and Larson. Westwood into us, a 2 and a 10. They're going to call that one a boarding. Number 2 serving that one. Westwood in for the faceoff. Kings win it. Picked up by Trent. Sends it out to Davis. Davis trying to hit Westwood. Feeds it back out to the blue line. Larson to Trent. Trent walks it up. Feeds back to Davis. Shot. Goes up and over off a stick. And Larson fields out in the neutral zone. Feeds it out to Davis. Walks it in. Looking to feed Larson and goes off the skate. Gorman officially on the power play, 1:16. Trent brings it down low. Feeds it Larson at the near wall. Shot. Westwood gets tied up. And Kings clear. Fitzy out to Trent. Trying to hit Larson off a skate. Trent ushers that one up. As Johnson comes in. Breaks that one up. Chipped. Kept in play by Godin. Up. Poke checked out. Fitzy to Johnson. Down low. Klaus. Shot. Looking for the top corner, short side. Johnson sends that down low. Klaus with a shot up into the netting. Eight seconds left on the Gorman power play. They're going to leave the power play unit out there. Godino, Johnson, Creel, Klaus, and Larson. Comes out in favor of the Kings, send it around the boards. Godino pinches up, closes it off. Creel comes in, and back to full strength. Puck to the blue line cleared, and we're back to full strength and the end of the second period. All right, Gorman trailing by 1. Shots on goal, 22-10 in favor of the Gales. The Kings goalkeeper making it difficult for Gorman. Kicking off the third period. Godino, Fish, Creel, Posner, and Baldy. Godino sends it back to Creel. Creel back behind the goal line. Feeding Posner at the blue. Shot off the pads. Fish out to Baldy. Baldy shot still in play. He goes off a stick. Kings pick that one out and send it around. Another bouncing puck off the snow mound there. Baldy feeds it out to Fish, trying to send it to Godino at the blue line. The Kings reject it and bring it back in the Gorman zone. Shot off a body, goes wide. Bouncing pass through, picked up by Posner, denied on the clearing attempt. Stretch pass out to Godino, off a skate. And the Kings bring it back over. Shot off the shins of Posner. Godino, Klaus. Davis wires it in. Klaus goes on the forecheck. Kings bring it through. Klaus picks that one up in the neutral zone, sends it back on net, loose out front, and covered. 13-14 remaining in the third. Gorman trailing by 1. Shots on goal, 25-10. Klaus, David, Westwood, Trent, and Rubino. Davison for the face-off. Sent around the boards. Chip back down low by Trent. Klaus gets tied up in the corner. And brought down the other way. No icing on this one. It was in reach. Fed through off the stick of Davis. Pass out to Klaus. Shot. Loose. And goaltender covers. Fitzy, Kerr, Johnson, Wong, and Larson in for Gorman, and we will reset that camera. Kerr in for the face-off. Gorman comes away with it and lost it in the corner. King sent it around the boards. Larson fields at the blue line. Johnson back to Larson. Larson sends it on net, loose, and covered. Gorman needing to get a little bit more traffic in front of the goaltender. 12:31 remaining. Shots on goal, 27-10 favor of Gorman. Fitzy in for the puck drop for the Gales. Gorman wins it back to Larison. Larison runs out of room. Sends it around the boards. Takes a hit in the process. Kerr gives a shoulder. Sends it around the boards. Back out to Larison. Cycles it back down low. Kerr peels off to Johnson. Trying to hit Larison. Goes off a stick. He's able to keep it in the zone. Feeds back out to Johnson. Shot. Loose. Poked through the crease. And the Kings send it up and into the netting. 11:58 remaining. Creel, Godino, Fish, Larison, and Luong. Fish in for the faceoff for Gorman in the King zone. Ref so good, he's faking me out as well. All right, Gorman wins the faceoff. Godino trying to feed Larison, gets tied up. Creel drops it back. Blue line pass. Luong shot, bouncing loose. Goal! Luong sends the shot. And off the pads, Godino picks up the loose puck on the backside of the net. And Gorman ties it with 11:46 remaining in the third. Fish into the faceoff, comes out to Creel. Posner walks it up, sends it in. Baldy, the other defenseman. Creel drops it back to Fish. It's Godino. Godino trying, could not get the shot off, lost an edge. And the Kings bring it back the other way. And looks like Gorman's going to go on the PK. Godino in for the faceoff. Shot. Pad save. Westwood forces a pass down low. Baldy comes away with it. He's going to send it wide off the glove. Westwood already in motion. And Kings will have to tag up. Baldy's got room. Wires it all the way down on net or right of net. Westwood comes away with it. He's got Godino with him. Gets pinned to the boards. Godino, space, cycles back, drops it the other way during a change, and the Kings had to worry about Westwood at the blue line. Pass out to the near side. And Godino backhands that one up and out. Fitzy and Kerr in for Gorman on the forward set. Trent and Rubino, center ice on defense. Kings bring it through. Gorman gets it clear. Kerr battles through the hits. Opts to send it around the boards. Kerr closes that one off. 20 seconds left. Trent's got time. Plays catch with Rubino. Chips it off the boards, bouncing through. Picked up, center ice. Bouncing puck, pad save. 5 seconds left. Fish comes into support. Gorman back to full strength. He's got Creel posted down low. Comes out to Creel, walks it through. Out to Fitzy. Fitzy, shot. Short side, center mass, and the goalie swallows that one up. Keep it a tie game. 9:06 remaining. Fish wins the face-off, back to Larison. Long shot off a body. Kings bring it back the other way. And they're calling a hand pass. And we're going to do the center ice. Or outside the Kings blue line. Fish in for the faceoff. Kings win that one. Picked up and kept in by Godino. Godino feeds back at the point. Luong walks it up in the corner, takes a hit. Creel comes in to support, takes a hit as well. And we have another penalty coming up on Gorman. And I believe that one will be on Creel. Roughing is the call. Or Luong. A rare penalty for Luong, and Gorman goes on the PK again. Baldy, Posner, Kerr, and Fitzy. 8:28 remaining, quarter of which will be on the PK. Baldy. Battling line, Kings come away with it. Feeds back high in the slot, near wall. Shot, save, Laskoska, and Gorman goes to clear, couldn't get there, chipped around. Kerr sends it down, picked up at the goal line by the Kings. Posner walks up, sends it back the other way. Kerr comes off, Godino on the PK unit. Almost comes away with that one. Kings forced back in their zone. Creel in for Gorman. Trent. And Posner. Posner forces out wide. Near corner. Almost picked off by Godino. In the point. Back the other way. Shot. Off the blocker. Save Laskoska. And clears the Gorman zone. No one there. Trent. Opts to send it to the near wall. Posner wires it all the way down. Godino stays on. Fitzy on for Creel. Larison at the blue line. Kings bring it around. Larison sends it around to Rubino. Off the glass. Eight seconds left. Sent around the boards. King's going to get there. Off the shin of Kerr and clears. And Gorman back to full strength and offsides. .6:26 remaining. Westwood, Davis, Mesa, Rubino, and Larison. Davison for the faceoff outside the Gorman's blue line. Kings win it back center ice. Chip it across. Hit the snow. Scooped up. And the Kings bring it out on the near wall. Save. Laskoska goes wide. Mesa. Both wingers working on the far wall. Westwood bouncing puck. He's got Davis with him. Couldn't field that one. Larson walks it in, kicks it up, lost a stick, or King player lost a stick. Davis goes in and says hello. Sent around the boards. Westwood looks to get there, closes that one off, comes out to Davis. And bouncing puck out to Trent, center ice. Trent dangles through. He's got Davis out front. Trying to feed Mesa, blocked by the King's stick. Shot, short side, comes out, Posner. Check back out to Westwood. Back to Posner, shot. Off the body, goes wide. Westwood keeps it in the corner. Long shift for the Kings. Westwood takes a hit along the boards. Keeps it. Hook coming up on the Kings. And Gorman has a delayed penalty. Sends it out to Mesa. Mesa sends it around the boards. Loose in the front of the crease. And Westwood takes a hit. Number 23 for the Kings will head to the box. And I believe Gorman calls a timeout. 2 penalties, actually. Number 23 and number 12, both. And Gorman should have a 5-3 opportunity coming up with 4:49 remaining. Johnson, Klaus, Creel, Trent, and Godino. Gorman unable to win that face-off, and the Kings clear. Trent brings in the zone, sends it across off a stick, overshot it, and the Kings wire back the other way. Laskoska comes out the field that one. Scoreboard for the feed a few seconds delayed. We'll correct here in a bit. Trent in the slot. Sends it out wide. Johnson back out to Trent. Johnson. Shot. Off the pad. Goes wide. Klaus shot short side off the blocker. Clearing attempt comes out to Tommy Trent. Back out to Johnson. Trent. Johnson. Shot. Off a stick, goes up high and over. 105 on the board for the power play. Trent, shot, loose. And cleared by the Kings. Trent walks it in, feeds Godino. 35 seconds left on the power play, 5-on-3. Trent, shot. And swallowed up by the goaltender. 3:18 on the clock. And 29 seconds left on the Gorman 5-on-3 opportunity. Critical for Gorman here. Fitzy, Kerr, Davis, Larson, and Westwood. Fitzy in for the face-off. Wins it back to Davis. Davis sends out to Westwood, high in the slot. Shot off a stick and into the netting. Comes out not really in favor of anybody. Picked up by Westwood. Larson high in the slot. Back out to Westwood. Top of the circle. Larson. Westwood. Shot. Off the side of the net. Kerr gets tied up. Comes out to Davis. Davis comes away with it. Laskoska comes out. Gorman has an opportunity here. Back to 5-on-5. Delayed penalty. Shot. Loose out front. Gorman with the extra attacker. Davis gets tied up trying to feed Westwood. And 2:35 on the board here, and a hooking call coming up against number 75 for the Kings. Shots on goal 35-16 in favor of Gorman. Has 2 more minutes on the board. Johnson, Godino, Klaus, Creel, and Trent. And for the power play unit, Godino wins it back. Trent couldn't close that one off, and it's a foot race the other way. Laskoska comes out, sends it across, tipped down by the Kings forward. Trent out to Johnson. Johnson sends it out to Klaus. Klaus gets tied up along the boards. King is going to pick that up in the corner. Cleared through, kept in by Trent. He's got 2 on him. Back out to Godino. Shot, loose. Goal! No, we have a penalty coming up as Laskoska heads to the Gorman bench. Makes it just in time, as always, as Westwood came out for the extra attacker. And Kings have another hooking call, is what it looks like, number 4. Same power play unit for Gorman. Westwood in for Klaus. Gorman wins that one. Chipped in by Westwood to keep it in the zone. 5-on-3 for Gorman. Godino looking for everybody to open up. Shot. Goes up and over the net. Shot from Johnson. Back out to Johnson. Godino. Shot. Right to the glove. Get the scoreboard corrected. Creel comes off. Davis on instead. Gorman wins that back to Johnson. High in the slot. Davis posted out front. Trent. Out to Godino. Johnson. Godino. Westwood down low. Johnson shot. And he swallows that one up. Davis posted out front. .28 seconds left in the initial penalty for the Kings. Godino in for the faceoff. Goes out into the corner. Davis gets there for Gorman. Johnson comes into support, feeds it to Godino near wall. Trent on the far side. Godino up high. Down low, Westwood off a stick. And couldn't complete the pass to Johnson. 5 seconds left. Shot. And goalie swallows that one up with 1 second remaining on the Kings' initial penalty. Baldy comes in now for Trent. One back. Out to Baldy. Couldn't hold that one in, and Gorman has to regroup. Pass comes out to Davis. Davis brings it in the zone. Drops it back to Westwood. Drops it back to Baldy. Couldn't connect. Fed through. 1-on-1 the other way. Westwood comes in to break that one up. Stretch pass out, bouncing across. Godino, Westwood battling down low. Kept in by Davis, drops back to Baldy. And that'll wrap it up for the game. Gorman finishes it with a tie. This one will end in a tie, as it is round robin play, no overtime here. Which is shocking here. The rules explicitly state that their round robin will end in a tie, which should be 2 points instead of 3 for the win. And it looks like we're just going to go straight to shootout. No goal. Godino in for Gorman's first attempt. Goal. Gorman up by 1, second round. Save, Laskoska. Klaus in for Gorman. And a save for the Kings. And the third attempt for the Kings. Save. And that'll wrap it up. Gorman comes away 3-0 during round robin play. And that'll close out the round robin portion of the tournament. And as they finish first place in the standings, semifinals kickoff, I believe, tomorrow. Those games will be here on the North or South rink. Those games should be somewhere between 8 and 8:15 tomorrow, depending on how the seeding all stands. I believe this is a 1v4, 2v3 setup. We'll have to wait and see where everybody lands as they finish up round robin play for the rest of the 18U division today. Those games will be broadcast live. So as always, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.